everyone, and welcome back to our channel. The plot is heating up as Matt's pursuit could corner Nick. Will Nick be able to escape this chase? So let's just get right into it. Because the Winters family is literally exploding right now, and I mean exploding. We all knew Malcolm Winters coming back to town was going to be huge. But nobody expected this level of drama. A secret son, and not just any secret son. Holden Novak. Yes, that Holden, the guy who has been tangled up with Audra and Claire and Kane. It is just a massive mess, and now he is sitting at Crimson Lights trying to process the fact that his entire life is a lie. Dr. Stephanie Simmons just dropped the mother of all bombs on him. She is his mom, Malcolm is his dad. It is a lot to take in. You can almost feel the panic radiating off him through the screen. Just imagine thinking you know who you are your whole life. And then boom, you are a Winters. It is wild. But it gets worse, because Malcolm is not just back for a fun family reunion. He is dying. He has aplastic anemia. It is a rare blood disorder. And he needs a bone marrow transplant to survive. And he needs it from a family member, so Holden is not just dealing with the shock of his parentage. He is suddenly holding a man's life in his hands, a man he just met. A man who is supposedly his father. It is a crazy heavy burden for a guy who just found out his last name should not even be Novak, but Holden agrees to get tested. He actually agrees to see if he is a match for Malcolm, which shows he has a good heart, even if he's totally freaking out inside. And Stephanie has to step away to set up the medical stuff. She leaves Holden and Malcolm alone to just sit in the awkwardness. Can you imagine the tension in that room? Malcolm is just staring at this grown man who is his flesh and blood, trying to figure out how he missed an entire lifetime. Stephanie eventually gets things sorted at a nearby clinic. She texts Holden the address and tells him to go get the test done. It is also clinical and cold for such an emotional moment, but time is running out for Malcolm. They do not have time for long emotional hugs right now. They need medical results. So Holden heads out to get his blood drawn, or whatever they do for marrow testing. He is just moving like a zombie at this point. After the test is done, Holden heads over to Society. And he is just furious. He is talking to himself and pacing around, just losing his mind over Stephanie's lies. Decades of lies. And who happens to be there? Audra Charles. Of course it is Audra. She is always lurking where she does not belong. She sees Holden talking to himself and realizes something is very wrong. She tries to get him to open up. Because Audra loves leverage, she loves knowing secrets. Especially Holden's secrets, since they have that dark history from Los Angeles. She probably thinks she can use his bad mood to her advantage, but Holden is not having it. He pushes Audra away. He does not want to confide in her. He knows exactly how toxic she is. He basically tells her to get lost. He brushes her off completely. And honestly, good for him. Audra is the last person you want to share family trauma with. She would just twist it and use it against him later, so he sends her packing, or so he thinks. Because Audra never really leaves. She just finds a better hiding spot. She steps around the corner and waits, just waiting to see what Holden is actually upset about. She is like a shark smelling blood in the water. Then Claire Newman walks in. The timing is almost perfect. Claire sees Holden looking like his world just ended, and she asks if he wants to talk. Now remember, Claire and Holden have been on rocky ground. She dumped him because he was keeping secrets about Audra. She did not trust him. But seeing him like this, completely broken, it changes things. Holden actually wants to talk to her. He trusts Claire. He feels safe with her. Which is a huge deal considering everything going on. He needs a friend right now. Someone who is not going to manipulate him, and Claire is that person for him today. So Holden just lets it all out. He dumps the entire crazy story on Claire. He tells her about his mom lying to him his whole life, about his real dad, and he drops the name, Malcolm Winters. He explains that he just met Malcolm, and that Malcolm is Lily Winters' dad, meaning Lily is his half-sister. It is a massive information dump. And Claire is just standing there taking it all in. Just completely shocked, because the Winters family is royalty in this town. And now this guy she has been dating is part of it. But here's the kicker. Audra is still around the corner. She is eavesdropping on the whole thing. Audra hears everything, every single word. She looks completely stunned. You can see the wheels turning in her head. A secret Winters heir, that is huge news in Genoa City. The Winters family has so much power and money, and now Holden is part of that legacy. Audra is probably already calculating how she can use this to her advantage. Maybe she will try to blackmail Holden. Or maybe she will use it to get closer to the Winters family business. She rushes off before she gets caught. but you just know she is going to weaponize this information somehow. Because that is what Audra does. She collects secrets like trading cards. Meanwhile, Holden is still pouring his heart out to Claire. He tells her how overwhelmed he is, not just by the lies, but by the fact that he might actually be the one to save Malcolm's life. He is waiting on the bone marrow test results. It is a life or death situation for a father he never knew. His phone starts ringing. It is Stephanie calling, but Holden ignores it. He refuses to answer. He is too angry at her right now. He just cannot deal with his mother's voice. He feels so betrayed by the woman who raised him, and you really cannot blame him for needing space. It is just too much reality hitting him all at once. Instead of dealing with the drama, Holden just wants to escape for a minute. He asks Claire to go for a walk with him. And Claire does something so simple, so meaningful. She takes his hand. She holds his hand as they walk out together. It is a huge shift for them. Claire is letting her guard down. She is seeing the real vulnerable Holden, not the shady guy with LA secrets, but a guy who is hurting and needs a friend, or maybe more than a friend. It really feels like their romance is sparking again right here. They are connecting on a much deeper emotional level now. He is letting her see his absolute lowest point. Back to the parents. Malcolm is finally confronting Stephanie. He wants answers. He demands to know how she could keep his son from him for all these years. How she could just leave town and never say a word. And Stephanie's excuses are just wild. She says they were not together very long. That she did not want to ruin his rising career. Which is such a cop-out. You do not just hide a whole child because of a photography career. But then she hits him with the real fear. She says she wondered if he was even ready to be a father back then. She was terrified he would see the baby as a burden and resent him. Malcolm is just gutted by this. He tells her they will never know now. Because she took that choice away from him, they cannot rewrite history. He missed his son's childhood, his teenage years. Everything. It is a tragic realization for Malcolm. But he knows he cannot just sit around and mope. He has to tell the rest of his family. He has to tell Lily. Because Lily deserves to know she has a brother. Especially right now when the family is already falling apart over the whole Chancellor fake kidnapping mess. Lily needs something else to focus on besides Devin yelling at her. Speaking of Lily, she is currently at the Abbott mansion. And she is an absolute wreck. She is confiding in Tracy Abbott. Tracy is always the rock for everyone. Lily is just sobbing, crying her eyes out over Malcolm's aplastic anemia. But it is not just the illness that has her upset. It is the fact that she cannot help him. Lily wants to be the bone marrow donor so badly. She wants to save her dad, but she is not a match. Actually, it is worse than that. She is completely disqualified from even donating because of her past cancer treatments. The ovarian cancer from years ago, it just ruins her chances of saving him. The medical rules are strict. Her past cancer means her marrow cannot be used. She feels so helpless. She tells Tracy that she feels like she is failing Malcolm. That she is letting him down when he needs her the most. Tracy is doing her best to comfort her. She hugs Lily and tells her not to lose hope. Tracy knows all about losing family members. She lost Colleen, so she knows exactly how to handle this kind of grief and fear. Tracy urges Lily to tell Malcolm the truth immediately, so he can start looking at other options. Because time is a factor here, Tracy promises Lily that she is not failing anyone. So Lily gathers her courage and goes to see Malcolm. She is ready to deliver the bad news. She is probably bracing herself for him to be devastated. But when she starts to explain, he stops her. He tells her he already knows. He already knows she cannot be his donor. Lily is confused, but then Malcolm drops the hint. He says Stephanie might have provided another solution, another way to save his life, and Lily is just trying to put the pieces together. What does Stephanie have to do with this? Why is her dad's ex-girlfriend suddenly the solution to a bone marrow crisis? It makes zero sense to her at first. Malcolm finally comes clean. He admits that back in the day he had a romantic relationship with Stephanie. And that when she left Genoa City she was secretly pregnant. He tells Lily that he just found out he has a son. A grown son, which means Lily has a half-brother. Lily is just completely floored. Her brain is working overtime trying to process this. A brother. Out of nowhere, but before she can even ask who it is she realizes something crazy. She already knows him. Malcolm says the name. Holden Novak, and Lily's jaw just drops, because she knows Holden. He is the guy working for Kane, the guy who warned her about Kane's revenge plot against Victor. And now he is her flesh and blood. It is a massive twist of fate. Lily is just standing there realizing that her entire family dynamic just shifted forever. and that this stranger might be the only person on Earth who can save their father's life. We will just have to wait and see if Holden's test comes back as a match.